Do you want to start an online business that allows you to work anywhere? You can work from home, work at the beach. And the best part is you don't need the time, the skills, or the money to actually make it work. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact business model that I started, which is the outsourcing business. And I'm going to share with you all the tips and tricks on how I started, and you can start it too. So hi everybody, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Lynn Peretti, mother of 3 and a serial entrepreneur. And in this channel, my goal is to help you achieve your time and financial freedom. And if you're new here, please support me by subscribing and pressing the bell button to get notified about my videos every single week. And so let's get straight into how to start an outsourcing business. So how did I come across outsourcing? Okay, so I just want to take you back to the time where I first started an e-commerce store. So I started an e-commerce store thinking that it's an online business selling nail polish, but it wasn't really online because I got to still deliver the products. But if you watch my other previous videos, I share with you all the different types of businesses that you could start online, and one of them included e-commerce, but there were other ones and I showed the pros and cons. But what happened after my nail polish business was that other business owners wanted my help with how to do a website or how to do marketing. So from my first business, I learned a thing or two about marketing. But what I also realized that I learned that I didn't realize was the ability to outsource, to find people to do the work for myself at the time. But when it came to, what am I going to do next? I don't want to do my nail polish business anymore. What am I going to do next? And I don't want to go back to 9 to 5, was when other business owners asked me if I could actually help them get a website done. And so I basically charged them at a higher rate than what I could get it done for. So I remember my first website, I charged about maybe $1,000, and I found someone from the Philippines to do it for $600. And so I collected the money first from the client, or even 50% of it, and I paid the contractor also 50% of what I owe him. And so I didn't have to fork out any money, and I didn't have to worry about the skills because, well, I'm not a web developer, but I had a web developer to do it. And in terms of time, well, the only time I really put in is just, checking the work and showing the client. So, because the client didn't really want to deal with the outsourced contractors, they just wanted to get the website done. But what they're happy is to liaise with me. And so at every stage, if I've got the website done, I just show it the client, and the client has any questions, I pass it to the web developer to answer or to update me on what I need to tell the client. So that's what really an outsourcing business is all about. An outsourcing business is where you can actually provide any services that you like, but you don't actually need to be the one doing it. This is good because that means that you don't have a capacity problem. That means you can scale yourself. You could be busy going out there and get clients, and you have a team to do it. And so that's how I first started. And I didn't just do website development. When the client goes, okay, after my website, I would like to get some content written, or I would like to get some SEO done. And I was able to say yes, and just had found contractors to do those work for the clients. So what I've demonstrated here is that you don't really need the money, because you are collecting the money from the client as a deposit of 50% or even upfront, and you're paying the contractors at the end when it's done. So this is when my business was always positive cash flow from the beginning. I never had to inject any money in it. And in terms of the skills, like I said, you don't really need the skills of web development or SEO. I guess there are prerequisites in order to succeed in any business, let alone outsourcing business. It's really the ability to persuade, make sales. So, I'm able to really be a friendly person, understanding the client's problem, and being able to articulate, reasons why they should use me. I could say I was able to be charming and honest enough that they trusted me to allow me to take on the project. So, you start to develop sales and marketing skills in that sense. So if to succeed in any business, you need to hustle. So I went out there hustling and got the clients, but that kind of skill, you need it for any kind of business. So I just wanted to, set it straight that I said you don't need any skills, but I am saying that unless you have the foundational skills, which is how to hustle, how to work hard, how to persuade, how to, make a sale, how to project manage and communicate with your team and with the client. Without that, you can't make any business succeed. So you need to work on that and to make this business succeed. But apart from that, all the other technical skills, all that, you don't need to go to school to learn how to do web development or anything else, because you can find the people to do it. Okay, so you may ask me, well, what kind of business can I start? Well, here's the thing. There's millions and millions of providers online on websites such as Upwork, Fiverr, Online Jobs, PH, Freelancer. There are just so many platforms out there, just like eBay, but it's for services. So the reason why I got into web development and SEO and all that, it's because I learned some marketing stuff from my previous business. So I was able to, I guess, problem solve those things for them. But if you've got experience in other areas, like maybe you've been an accountant and your knowledge is in finance and accounting, you could actually start a business like in finance, but using the outsourcing model. So what I mean by that is, like, you need to understand what the problems the clients are having. Like maybe if you're out networking and meeting people in your industry and they have a certain problem about, I wish a company could do this and that in their finance, and you listen in and you try to solve that problem and say, okay, I can help you with that. And so you then find the person to do it. And so I'm not saying that you all need to go out there and starting a marketing company, a marketing agency. The marketing stuff is very common right nowadays. A lot of people do social media marketing, email marketing, graphic design sort of thing. But you could start a business in anything. Even an example, like if you were if you're into party planning, don't go there and start a party planning business and you doing all the work. You need to start thinking about the outsourcing model, because what I love about it is you are not limited by the time or capacity. So if you're into party planning sort of industry, you could solve any problem. They might need a cake. You say, sure, I can do a cake, and you find the best cake provider. And then on top of that, do you need a photographer? I can find you the best photographer, and you have contractors that are best at doing that. But what you are really solving the problem here is just making it easy for the client to come to you for all the problems that they need. And you're, reliable and you're friendly. At the end of the day, they just want their solutions provided at the easiest way. And if you can do that without you being caught up, because what I find with a lot of self-employed people is that they go out there and start a business and they do it themselves. So they're limited. So, how can you grow a business if you're stuck in doing it? So let's say you're into party planning and then you're like, let's say you're a cake maker. You're busy making cake that you just don't have time to grow your business. You're just bought yourself a job at home that is unpredictable. You don't know when you're going to get paid. So what I'm trying to challenge you is to think of any business that you do like, but think of it in an outsourcing model. And don't always think that you're always going to use these people on a contractor level. I started off as a casual basis. I would use them on I pay them per job, but eventually I hired them in-house. So that's when you start to grow to the next level where you actually can hire them to work full-time for you. Because once you develop your business and you've got that ongoing referral, people are coming back to you for work, then you can actually afford to have them part-time or full-time. But all it starts off is finding the right people to do the thing rather than you getting caught up in doing it. Okay, so you may wonder, like, how do I actually start the business? I actually didn't start my business until I started making some money. So you don't have to get caught up in worrying about getting a website up, getting business cards and trying to figure out your name or anything. Just first of all, figure out what the problems people have are and what your interest is. Then say yes to the problem and start solving it. And whether or not you could even do like at a free, first time free or discount it at the beginning just to get testimonials and reviews and just to build your confidence. You can do that. And once you've got your first client, my first client was a paid client, but I charged them really cheap. And from then on, I was able to get a testimonial and I was able to sort of prove to myself that my model works, or I enjoyed doing this kind of project. And once I got the funding from the first few projects, I then thought of a name. Then I thought about putting up a website and sharing with everyone what I actually do. But you don't have to do that until you actually make some money. So it's all about getting some money in and making sure that that it's a positive cash flow business before you try to inject anything in. I've never had to inject money in any of my businesses since I've started the outsourcing model. The outsourcing model really allows me to be able to use resources whenever I need to, rather than buy equipments and things, or with other kinds of business you have to invest in before you can actually make money. Whereas the outsourcing model, you are leveraging on other people's time and skills and the money of your client. So let me know what you think about outsourcing so far. Like, did you have a negative perception about outsourcing? What did you actually think about outsourcing before I started talking about the outsourcing business? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let me go a little bit into depth about if you wanted to start something online, and not the party planning kind of thing where it's physical sort of product, but it's an online service, let's say marketing, website development, or things like that. So what it is sites like Upwork or Fiverr or onlinejobs.ph. What it is they are job sites able to post up jobs for people to apply for. And so you post up a job that I need someone to develop this website, 5 pages, and you give them a budget. And people would apply for it, then you interview them and you find the best provider. And that's how you get the resources in. If you're looking for local resources, you could use sites like Gumtree to find people locally rather than using overseas. But these platforms allow you to access people from all around the world. They're able to work for you on a fixed price project, so once off, or hourly rate, or like a part-time, regular hours, or full-time hours. And so that's how I started my business, my first business, which is an agency. But what happened after about 3 or 4 years in was then I changed it into a recruitment model. So as I was telling you how to actually find these people, I've decided that I wanted to focus on helping companies hire people rather than doing those projects myself. So in my next video, I'm going to share with you how to actually start an offshore recruitment business. So that is the more profitable, the more enjoyable business that I've been working on. It's passive income because once I've recruited someone for the client, I get to make the money on an ongoing basis rather than a project base. So I want to share with you in my next video on how to actually start an offshore business. So that's all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in learning more from me, I'm actually thinking about starting some sort of coaching online community program or something. If you are interested, I am sort of opening a waiting list just to see if there are interests. There will be a link in the description below. And if you'd love to learn more about my business, Outsourcing Angel, all the information is below. But before I go, let me know what's the one thing you learned about the outsourcing business that really got you excited. Was there something that you haven't heard of before that you now go, ooh, light bulb moment? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks again for watching, and please don't forget to like and comment or subscribe to my channel. Bye.